welcome everyone to Party Chat. This is episode 7. We're closing on 10, nearly there. I'm joined by Mitch and Aaron, as always.
Hello.
Hey, yo.
And look, this week, bit timely, but with the Sonic movie coming out and doing surprisingly well, we thought we'd just have a little bit of a discussion about, video game movies that have been done in the past. They haven't always worked out for the most part. And I guess throw in some ideas for games we'd like to see adapted into film. I guess first off though, have either of you actually seen the Sonic movie?
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it on its premiere date actually. And I thought it was
keen.
Yeah, that keen. Big Sonic fan. Yeah, I thought it was actually pretty decent for what it was, and I'm really glad they did a remodel of Sonic.
I think everyone's glad they did a remodel.
Yeah.
That was atrocious.
Yeah. I didn't mind him originally. I thought everyone was a bit overreacting, but yeah, he looks better. But I haven't actually seen the movie as of yet. I haven't had time.
I feel that.
I wish.
I don't know. I'm still keen to see it, but I've kind of spoiled it for myself because I've seen like the post-credit scenes and stuff. Won't spoil it here.
So it was the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't wait. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. YouTube video, post-credit scene. Let's see what happens. I'm kind of a sucker for that stuff, and I run a lot of movies for myself, unfortunately.
It's a pretty decent movie. It's a standard run-of-the-mill kind of like family movie. There's a lot of Easter eggs in the movie, but at the same time, there's a lot of things you just like. I'm not sure whether it was a good direction to go that way, but I think it's still a good movie. But there's a couple of things I would have done a little bit differently. But
yeah, I've heard for the most part it's like serviceable. It's not amazing, but it's not absolute trash like people thought it was going to be, which is good. So I'm pretty keen to see it, but I guess, in terms of that, at the moment, it's one of the best performing video game movies in the past. Game the movie adaptations have never really done well at the cinema or critically. I guess probably one of the biggest franchises that have come out of video games in the movies is the Resident Evil movies. But if you ask any Resident Evil fan, those movies suck.
Yeah, which
I disagree.
Which I think is
really as a Resident Evil fan or a movie fan.
As a Resident Evil fan.
Tell us.
I think it's like anything that gets made into a movie. You look at, for instance, Lord of the Rings. If you were to take the books and shine them up to the movie, they did well, but they didn't capture the whole picture, especially with The Hobbit, for instance. Resident Evil, they breathed their own breath into it, which is going to happen no matter what you do. They did that with, for instance, Game of Thrones. The directors took their own path and breathed their own life into it. And so you're going to get that with any adaptation to movie. I don't think the Resident Evil series, I should say, was that bad at all. I thought it was good. It was enjoyable to watch. Sure, it wasn't exactly like the games, but God, it was good.
Yeah, I kind of think the same. And to be honest, I wouldn't really want to watch a Resident Evil movie verbatim, because if you played the game and then you go watch it in the cinema, you're like, I've already played this, so I know exactly what's going to happen. So it's like,
I guess a lot of people's problems is more that, well, at least at the start, the games were survival horror, but then, I think the first movie I didn't mind, it was really good. Then the second movie was okay, but then it started going down that post-apocalyptic. Now she's got superpowers and shit. I don't know. They're not bad. They're just not amazing.
Well, I didn't necessarily think that's a bad thing. And I mean, when you translate games to movies, sometimes it's better to have a different take on it for people that aren't familiar with Resident Evil. I know the Resident Evil movies were pretty popular with a lot of moviegoers, purely for the horror enthusiasts in particular. and they didn't really play. Well, I would say probably most of them haven't really played a Resident Evil game, so they'd rather go watch the movie and just have a good time, I guess.
Yeah, and I agree with Aaron, man. If they made it word for word, play by play to the games, bro, we'd be fucking bored.
Yeah,
but we know those games. We've played those games like multiple times through.
I mean,
you know
if
what I mean?
I had a Resident Evil 4 movie, I'd be pretty set.
Yeah.
Don't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, like I get it. Like they're you want that kind of thing. It's like, for instance, Halo and stuff. If they made a movie of Halo, we'd all want what we've played. You know what I mean? But if we got the same storyline and not some story somewhere in there, we'd be bored. And I don't think that the superpower thing should really be an issue, because look at the world she's in. Everything is mutated. Of course she's going to get fucking mutated along the way.
I think it's more of like, I think it was more of people were hoping it would be like a survival horror where you have like the stars, like people going in, trying to save other people when, trying to rescue stuff, and then trying to fight people like Mr. X and Nemesis and things like that. But
and look, that'd make a great TV series. Like, realistically, if you want something like that, you want a TV series, you want to play like multiple episodes of them doing missions, building themselves up, meeting new people, finding new enemies, that kind of thing. That would make a great TV series, not a movie. Movie's over too quickly.
Yeah, but I mean, in the same sense, I mean, there was 6 movies, I think there were, or 6 or 7 movies. Yeah.
Way too many.
But you can't ever think like, if they did 6 movies, you could have thought, well, why couldn't they just gone, well, they had Chris Redfield and like Ada Wong and all that. Like, well, why didn't you just make him like a spin-off with Chris Redfield or Claire or Ada doing her own thing?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things you could debate forever. Especially because there was 6 movies, but she systematically went through trying to fuck up the people on the council. Like, and then she kept running into the AI and all that shit. And then one of the dudes came back, even though she blew his brains to absolute smithereens. Like,
standard stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Albert Wesker and try and take on the Red Queen and all that. I think overall the story was good. And like, it made you want to watch the next installment because they always left on a cliffhanger that made you go, wow, where are they going to take it next? And which Resident Evil enemy are we going to see next? And all that kind of thing.
I feel like it's nostalgia too, though. I feel like I liked them because I watched them growing up. But I don't know, I feel like if those movies came out like now, I'd be like, man, this is absolute crap.
Yeah.
But it's a product of the time.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a product of the time. I think I find like the last Resident Evil to come out, I wasn't as keen for as all the others.
Was that I can't remember that one. All I remember is that opened and she was like in the desert and I was like, yeah, cool, whatever, I'm done with this.
That's Extinction, isn't it?
Yes, I think that was the last one.
Yeah.
That's the third one. Is it?
Yeah, that's...
What the hell? Yeah, the last one, she's in the desert as well.
Is she? I don't remember her being in a desert.
Pretty sure.
No, I thought it started because it was Wesker and they're in the White House. And Wesker was there and they were sitting on the roof at the end of it, or at the end of the 5th movie. No, and then the 6th movie was her at the White House still.
No, because she fought this bat thing and ran a car through it or something.
Huh. Maybe I need to go back and watch the movie. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, it looks like we might need to brush up on our knowledge rather.
Aha.
Embarrassing.
Well. I had to be you guys right now because you guys look like a couple of nuggets.
Burnt chicken nugget.
Yeah, you look like Hungry Jack's nuggets, and nobody likes those.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
fair.
Thank you.
The first.
Wait, were they the guys that did the cheesy
That's Red
nuggets?
Rooster, man.
That's right. Those were fucking
No, they're not.
disgusting.
Educate yourself.
What?
They are the best. But like, yeah, Resident Evil is probably the most popular one. But there's bloody hell. There's no shortage of crap video game movies. Another one, if we're talking about nostalgia, Super Mario Bros. That's probably one of the most historic in a sense of it just had a shitty production, and the movie had barely any resemblance to the video game itself.
That movie can go to hell.
Was my childhood.
Like, it can actually go to hell. That was, like, for me personally, I F-bomb hate that movie. Like, wow.
I super digged it as a kid. I loved it.
Really?
I remember watching it like on VHS on repeat.
You know what movie I watched on VHS on repeat?
What?
Pokemon, the animation. The animated movie. What was it? Pokemon 2000 or something? Something like that.
I remember going to the cinema for that, and I got
Mewtwo Strikes Back, or
No,
the first
it
one.
was, it was
It's the
the
Pokemon
one,
the movie, isn't it?
yeah, Pokemon the movie, yeah.
I remember going to the cinema, and you got like a shiny Mewtwo Pokemon trading card or something. Mew, maybe it was Mew.
Oh, okay, no, not that one.
well, Pokemon 2000 is the Lugia.
No, the one with Mew and
the one Mewtwo Strikes Back
I
is
can't remember.
the Mewtwo movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was like 99.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
first movie.
that sounds
Pokemon,
about
the first
right for
movie.
the time. Anyway, we're on Super Mario Bros, not Pokemon.
Okay, fun.
Hey, either or, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, really. No, not either or.
Super Mario Bros. Stick with it.
Well,
Ew.
You got
Just-
you.
well, back to it just for a second. Resident Evil opens with the scene of the little
Yes.
girl seeing Wesker kill someone. And then the next scene after that is with the White House is in
okay.
ruins, and
I was
Alice
half
wakes
right,
up,
you were
and then
half
the
right.
wing thing attacks her in the middle of DC.
The important thing
Yeah.
is I was right,
Yeah.
and that's what
Good.
counts.
Because, like, I was
Meet
so
halfway.
confused when you were like, no, she was definitely in the desert. I was like, wow, am I chronologically wrong here? Or
I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, are you sure you're not talking about the third movie? I was like, I don't remember it being in a desert. And then I like rewatched the scene there just quietly on YouTube, and I'm like, there's buildings and rubble and stuff. I'm like, yeah,
That's
that's
who created
DC's and
disagree.
rubbles. That's why it looks kind of like a
oh,
desert.
not even.
Anyway,
it looks like
we were
somebody
talking about
nuked a town.
my boy
Doesn't look
Bob
like a
Hoskins, John
freaking-
Leguizamo,
Yeah, whatever. Fine.
as Mario and Luigi. Yes. They trash it. Like as a kid, again,
And the worst
loved it.
film
but I had-
adaptation.
I don't know any
Agreed.
better.
I actually,
But-
yes.
If you watch it as a fully grown adult now, has nothing to, apart from like the namesakes. There's almost nothing to do with the actual game. Some of those things you'll look at and you'll think, how the hell did they get that from the game? And think, yeah, this looks alright. Little big body, tiny head man. That's a Goomba. Makes no sense.
Yeah, and was instead of calling him Bowser or whatever, it was like King Koopa or something. And it's just a dude with spiky hair.
Well, I think King Koopa is his name in the Japanese
Yeah, he
games.
is in
I
Japanese
think.
games,
Don't-
yeah.
Yeah, but then he had no resemblance to Bowser, just a straight up human who was a dinosaur or something. I can't remember the plot, but it was
Yeah. No,
terrible.
look, that movie for me, I've already said it, it's almost a trigger of just hatred, to be honest.
Although it is,
I don't know. I
guilty
don't know if I could
pleasure
actually
now, though.
sit and watch it again. Like, I might be able to with a pen and a pad and just go through and critique the shite out of it. But like, as a kid who played on the N64 and on my Game Boy Black and White,
OG Game Boy.
Yeah. yeah, it was like that. You remember that
In the
see-through
90s.
one where you could see like the board and everything?
yeah, it was the Game Boy.
Yeah.
No, the Game Boy Pocket they had. It was a see-through one.
Game Boy Color, wasn't it?
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
You're talking about the big brick one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the big
Yeah,
brick
there was
one.
that was the
It was
original Game
see-through,
Boy, and it came in grey or see-through.
Yeah, I had the see-through one, and it was black and white. It had no color in it.
Yeah, it was like
Back
there was a
then.
black and white one, and then there was like a green and black one, where the screen was like green and black.
Okay, yeah, I definitely didn't have a green and black one. That would have been kind of cool. But and then you go and you play all that, and then you go watch that movie. It's almost like you're not even, like you said, the resemblance to the video game is, bar the name, is not even there. Like, you go and watch it, and you're like, are we in the right movie? Like, Dad, are we in the right place?
Yes, you're exactly where you're meant to be.
And that's why I think it's going to be interesting when, because Illumination are currently working on a Super Mario Brothers movie with Nintendo. So, which I think is going to be animation. I don't think it was live action, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be a bunch of Minion clones.
Kind of.
Like, I reckon...
I think it'd be alright as that kind of movie. I mean, like, if you look at, like, just having Bowser and Wreck-It Ralph, for example, I think Mario would translate well to the whole Illumination Minion style kind of animation.
Yeah, but
No,
I mean, they have
I-
to have a good plot and story and stuff. I mean,
yeah.
like actors or whatever you want, voice actors.
I agree. I think you're very right. Doing a live action, it could be done, but it has to be done right. Like for instance, Avatar. You had the animated series go to live action, and that was horrible.
Wait, are we talking about my boy James Cameron's blockbuster Avatar?
Where you can make love with touching tips.
Yeah.
No.
No, that was amazing.
We're talking about the
Avatar:
guy
The
that
Last
bends
Airbender. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aang.
I always, it's funny because I love the Avatar movie, but every time I'm talking to someone, I'm talking about the Avatar movie and how bad it was. What I really mean is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like,
Yes.
I always forget that there's another Avatar. That movie's in a whole nother genre. That was amazing.
I think they just called it Last Airbender, didn't they? The Avatar Last Airbender movie. Yeah, I think it's just called Last Airbender to stop people getting confused between the two movies.
That's probably that's probably what I should start doing too, realistically.
I think you should, especially with like the Avatar sequels coming out.
Yeah, which man, am I pumped for that.
I want to say I'm pumped, but I'll see them.
I wouldn't
Really?
say I'd pump for it. I think it's kind of missed its opportunity for me to be excited about it.
Yeah.
It's
Like
No, see,
the first one had like the 3D effect, and that's
like it changed cinema.
part of why
Like,
it became so popular.
yeah, exactly. The first one changed like cinema and how it was, and being thrown into the world and stuff. And now I think it was 2009 it came out or something, wasn't it? And it was like it's like 11 years ago now. So it's just like I think you missed your window of opportunity for a cash grab of a sequel. And now people are just kind of like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
yeah, but for them, it's not like, I understand every movie is in essence a cash grab. Well, they want it to be because they need to make their money and then make more so they can be a profitable producer and whatnot, so they can continue to go on. But when they first announced that they were doing the sequel, did you guys ever read about what they were doing and why it's taken so long? Like some of the things that they're doing to generate the planets or the planet in what they're doing is they're actually recording and mimicking real plants and species and stuff like that on Earth that could be used in underwater scenarios. And just the technology they were using was at the time, groundbreaking, and which is why the first Avatar movie was, like you said, groundbreaking for cinema, much like the way when Skyrim first came out was like groundbreaking for video games, really, like of its genre. Its graphics was beautiful, and the storytelling and all that shit is the same thing. Like the way they were using technology to do what they were doing was, and realistically, like even in today's terms, the amount of effort and money they're putting in to produce these movies is and the technology using is downright astounding. Like if you look into it and read into it and understand the cameras and the technology and stuff they're using, it's actually bloody brilliant. And that's why I'm pumped. Because I want to see the quality of stuff they put out. Like and as far as what you're talking about with like the first one was released in 2009, and if we really wanted that story to continue, it should have come out in like 2011 the latest for us to really, really jump on that bandwagon and love it. So yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, the reason I said I was pumped is because all the technical stuff that they're doing to put into these movies coming out. Yeah, I'm actually pumped to see how they implement that stuff into the movies.
Yeah, I
just mad nerdgasm, like tech nerdgasm hard.
Yeah, but then no offense, Mitch, but a lot of moviegoers don't really give a shit about what goes into the movies, like what it takes to make the movie. Like a lot of people are just gonna go, oh, that looks cool. Here's my money. I'm gonna go watch it. Oh, that was an alright movie, or that was shit, or that was great. Like a lot of average Joes, if you call them, would cinema goers. They're just gonna see a trailer if it's full of action or it's eye-catching, they're going to go watch the movie. If it's not, they're not going to care about the tech behind it. They're just going to be like, yeah, that looked cool. And you see it all the time. I mean, if you look at the Avengers trailers, like if you watch every Avengers trailer so far, people watch that movie because they know it's linked to a different movie. And they don't care about what the stunts were or the tech that went behind it. They just go, yeah, there was full action, or it looks like Thanos is here. Let's go watch it. It's like...
Yeah, 100%, and the frequency and the build up of those movies plays into that storyline and allows people to really grasp that universe and delve into it. I completely fucking get that. Like the average person or the general consumer of moviegoers loves that shit because they can get into a universe that's not their own and they love it because it's action packed and I get that.
I think that's where the Sonic movie is doing so well, because like if you looked at it from a perspective of people that don't know Sonic, it looks like a family friendly kind of movie that people would take their kids to. And, you know, so a lot of adults out there will be like, yeah, I remember playing Sonic when I was a kid, so I'll go and watch it for my sake. And the kids think it looks cool because it looks like a family friendly movie, so I'll take them along to go watch it as well. But people that aren't gamers are going to go, oh, it's a family-friendly movie. You know, that could be a good trip for the kids to take out on the holidays or, you know, or just a weekend. So I'll go take them to Sonic. So there's a big difference between watching Avatar and that when you put out a sequel like 11 or like 12 or 13 years later, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, yeah, I remember the original one, and then they'll probably won't see it. But you know, and saying that I could be wrong though, because I mean, Avatar for a long time there was the #1 movie at the box office until Avengers came along. But
yeah, boy,
and really, that's how they're going to play it. Like, let's be honest, with marketing and stuff, they're going to be like the second installment of the #1 movie between X amount of time and X amount of time. Like, that's how the marketing will go, and that will bring people back in. Like, it really will. Because people will be like, oh, yeah, no, I remember that movie. That was amazing. The graphics were awesome. You know, and people went and saw that movie. Like, I talked to a lot of people that went and saw that movie the first time in just a standard cinema. And I know of 5 people. I'm not going to name them because that would be rude. But all 5 of those people... not only did they, and they didn't do it together, there's just like all separately. They went and saw it in the normal cinema, stock standard cinema, nothing special. 3 of those 5 people then went and saw it in IMAX, so bigger screen, better quality of graphics and everything like that. And then out of those 5 people, 1 lot went and saw it again in the 3D that they brought out for it, and so did 3 other people, but they didn't go see it in IMAX as well. So one person, wasn't one person, it was one couple went and saw it 3 times in 3 different settings. Like, and people are going to remember that. They're going to remember that experience. They're going to, heaps of people went and saw it twice in the cinema. I went and saw it. Yeah, I went and saw it twice in the cinema. One time with my best mate and one time with a group of people. Like, and you're going to remember that. That's going to bring that nostalgia back, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's where I think that's where like movies like Sonic the Hedgehog and Detective Pikachu really come in, because a lot of people, they grew up with Sonic the Hedgehog, they grew up with Pokemon. So, seeing that on the big screen, they like the sudden rush of nostalgia of childhood memories, going, shit, I need to go watch that movie because that has Pikachu in it, and it has like Sonic running around for the first time on live action and that kind of thing.
And that's the thing, like, because a lot of the people that grew up with those games either have kids or they're getting to the age where they're like having kids or something like that, or they're taking like nieces and nephews and stuff as well. And they get to be like, oh, this was part of my childhood. And then those kids usually ask like, oh, what do you mean? And then they show them, like, you know what I mean? But it'd be interesting, actually, you know how you got the Pokemon games on your phone and everything now? You got, what do you got? Pokemon Go and the other one that you play.
Pokemon Masters and Pokemon Rumble Rush.
Yeah. Oh, so there's 3. So there you go. I didn't even know about Rumble Rush. But like, I would love to see whether there was a correlation between people downloading and playing those games after Detective Pikachu came out, just to see whether there was a correlation.
I remember there being a spike in sales for Detective Pikachu when that came out, and that's the whole reason why Nintendo's making a new Detective Pikachu for Switch. We don't know when it's coming out, but they did announce it. I think it was like a Nintendo Direct last year or something.
Okay, yeah. So the game itself got a spike in sales.
Yeah, which is getting a reboot. And another perfect segue. I mean, you look at The Witcher. Witcher just came out on the Netflix series, and CD Projekt Red just announced that they have reached, I think it was like $8 million for now their net worth is, but thanks to like their sales going up by 350% from the Witcher Netflix series. So
damn.
Yeah, it was, and it's really funny because when The Witcher came out, like if you didn't jump on it quick enough, you missed out. But Steam dropped the price of that game, I think, at stock standard with 2 DLC,
Blood and Wine, and it's Blood and Wine, and I can't remember what the third one was.
Was it Heart of Iron or something like that?
Heart of Stone, something.
That's yeah, something like that. So I think you get those. I think it's don't quote me on this, but last time I looked, it was $45 on Steam. When the Witcher series first came out on Disney, it was dropped to $15.
Which came out in Disney
sales. Not Disney Shy.
Whoa,
my bad.
Ultimate Universe.
Sorry,
Disney made The Witcher.
You mean on Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix. Yeah, sorry, I got confused between.
I was like, wait, there's a Witcher series on Disney Plus. Fuck, sign me up. I want to watch it.
Yeah. Sorry, on Netflix. Like, that's ridiculous. $15.
But yeah, I mean, like the sales of like The Witcher like going through the roof just because it came out on Netflix is like, it's insane to think that a TV show could influence the sales of a video game that much.
Yeah, but we spoke about Avatar a lot, a little bit off topic, but I'm gonna throw something out there, and it's one of my favorite video game movies, Silent Hill. Have you seen that one, Aaron?
Yeah, I remember that one.
First one's good. Second one's pretty shit.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with the second one. The first one was pretty decent, but yeah, the sequel, I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, I'm not quite sure. I know the first one for a fact. I can't remember the director's name, but he actually sought out like the rights to do a Silent Hill movie. Like he was keen on doing it, so he I guess he wanted to make sure he did it right. He had a love for the source material. I don't know if he did the second one or not. I don't think so. That's probably why it was shit.
I don't think he did. I think it was the film studio wanted to make a sequel because the first one did so well.
Yeah, but the thing is, like with the Silent Hill movie, like because he obviously had a passion for it, it came out like it's not amazing, but it came out pretty faithful to, the game. Like if you've played the game and seen the movie, like there's a lot of like fan service. Even the point of any old games, they had a lot of fog around the town. Part of that was obviously to add mystery, but also because the PlayStation couldn't render enough far ahead, so they used the fog as kind of like a way to keep the frame rate and stuff stable. But he had that in the movie. There was like fog everywhere, like the ash. The way it transformed into like the Silent Hill universe, when the siren goes off and the walls start peeling. It was just like an awesome, like really, really good looking movie.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes that movie awesome is the fact that he also used techniques used in video games to make it better. Is like Doom, for example, as much as it's not that great of a movie, it was pretty groundbreaking to see them use the first person kind of camera where he's walking through the halls and he's got a gun and he's just like changes the scenes where he's first person Doom style shooting things and running through the hallways.
Oh, when I first saw
that was pretty cool.
It was like awesome. Then he gets the chainsaw and obviously the guy in the wheelchair turns into that weird looking thing and he just like cuts it up. It was awesome. And I guess it's like with any movie, it depends on the people behind it. If it's just the studio saying, hey, this game's popular, let's make a movie and try and make some money, it's probably going to turn out pretty shit. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. I think that's the problem with a lot of video games to film adaptations is that they don't really keep faithful to the original story of the video game, or they try and do something new. Like it's cool to do something new, but not so much where it completely deviates from the original source material.
No,
ends up being something entirely different. And with the exception of probably Resident Evil, because Resident Evil worked out all right, but everything else is just like, yeah, like what are you doing?
Yeah, and look, the hard part is, most video games on average are like 6 to 8 hours plus. It's very hard to tell that in a short, concise hour and a half, 2 hour movie. I think that's where some of the problem lies. But again, it's like I said, it's the people behind it. If they don't know the source material or they don't have a passion for it, yeah, the movie won't be great.
Well, I think the perfect example of that is Dragon Ball Evolution, for example, is the perfect example. It's a shit movie, mainly because the person that made it had no idea what the source material was about. He literally just watched a couple of trailers of Dragon Ball and then just assumed this is what it was about.
Yeah, isn't he infamous for not ever watching a single episode of Dragon Ball Z? He just got the job.
Yeah, he didn't, and he just wrote the script because Fox Studios was just like, yeah, make this script, and he's like, okay, well, this is what I think it's about. And it's Chuck slapped a script together, and now he's actually watched it. He's gone back and watched the movie and put out a public apology and said to everyone.
Oh, my bad.
And he's like, yeah, he put out an apology to the Dragon Ball community and was like, yeah, my bad for that movie.
As he should, man. Dragon Ball's ripe for a movie, the action, the cool transformations, the people and characters. You've got to tweak it, but I feel like if you had Dragon Ball in a Marvel format, it would work. Have a bad guy.
Well, that's why I think it's interesting because now that Fox Studios is under the Disney banner, Disney now has the film rights to Dragon Ball. So there's a rumor going around they're going to make a Dragon Ball either TV series or movie, which will probably be animated. I don't think they'll ever do a live action one, but
no.
I know there was going to be a live action one. That's right. Yeah, they're going to do a live action one made by Disney, which I think might work. I just don't know how they're going to where they would start, what they would start with, would they do the start of Dragon Ball, or would they just skip straight to Dragon Ball Z stories, or yeah, I just
Yeah. I find anything to do with Dragon Ball Z in like live action
It's not an easy
really
task.
hard to believe. You know what I mean? But saying that Disney made Marvel believable, like, so really, they could do anything. Not fuck. I'm so out of it. Star Wars, the new Star Wars movies, they gave it depth.
I think they can. I think they can pull it off. I think
that.
Disney so far has been pretty good when they've acquired new properties. They've taken it in a good direction. I just hope that they don't, do the typical Disney thing of where they change it completely to make it better for them, or make it entirely like family friendly.
Yeah, which is the big family friendly question around Deadpool now.
Well, they won't do it with the Deadpool. I think what they said was that when Deadpool 3 comes out, it will still be normal Deadpool because Disney's looking at going into adult content a little bit more. What they said is Deadpool would stay the same at its normal rating, but when Deadpool cameos in anything else Marvel related, he'll be family friendly. So, obviously, eventually he'll probably, take on the role of Stan Lee's cameos and it'll just be Deadpool randomly popping up in Disney movies in the future, Marvel movies or TV shows. But when he pops up, he'll be, doing something that's not, adult-orientated. He'll be doing something family-friendly.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that'll work.
Which I think it would work in the favor. I mean, how awesome would it be if Deadpool just, randomly turned up in the Avengers, headquarters and is just, heating up some chimichangas or something? It's just oh, hey, guys, what's up?
Well, he's known for doing random-ass things like that, you know what I mean? You'd almost see him half dressed.
With his baby dick out.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. He's only got, the top half dressed and he's heating up chimichangas, and you get the idea that he's naked from, I don't know, let's say Black Widow covering her eyes or something like that, and the other guy's being like, oh my god,
it'd be funny if Black Widow was there, or Black Widow's not there anymore, spoilers, but anyway,
RIP.
But if it was one of those new Avengers and it's just Professor Hulk just with his big hand over their over their face.
Yeah, just or his face pointed to the side, trying to shield himself from the disgust.
Or Falcon just walks in with his shield and he's just hiding behind the shield, oh damn.
Yeah, that's a scene you could see happening. And look, it's still technically family friendly because only adults will get the joke. It'd fly over kids' heads. So something like that, innocent fun, I think, is what they should aim for in his joke lineup.
I reckon it'd be cool if Spidey and Deadpool team up, because in the comics, Deadpool and Spidey are BFFs. Well, according to Deadpool, they are. But so it'd be cool to see them team up.
Yeah, definitely, because their personality traits would bounce off of each other really well, because Spidey's supposed to be that
quick-witted, just throws a quip here and there to throw off his opponents.
Yeah, exactly. And Deadpool's, well, we all know what Deadpool's like, so I think it'll work well. I would love to see that. That might be a Spider-Man movie I'll actually go see.
You haven't seen any Spider-Man movie? What?
Not any. I watched the first couple, thought they were absolutely disgusting, and then haven't seen the rest. And I know that the new guys, the last two Spider-Man guys, were apparently great and definitely did Spider-Man justice. I've been told that by many people every time I bring up this topic.
As they should.
Jump down my throat.
Well, Andrew Garfield is my favorite Spider-Man, because I think he just nails both the Peter and the Spider-Man quotes really well. Just his story could have been a little bit better on the second one, but I think the first outing it was pretty good. And I think Tom Holland's doing a great job, and Marvel's going for the actual Peter in high school kind of thing rather than he's just graduated and he's outside of high school kind of thing.
Yeah, to be honest with you, what was his name? Sorry,
Tom Holland.
What was his name?
Yeah, Tom Holland. Sorry. Oh, I'm shocking with names. If you ever meet me and introduce yourself, I apologize. Yeah, Tom, for me, like, obviously I haven't seen all the movies you guys have because I stopped watching Spider-Man. But the original ones where he was a sooky little drama queen.
Tobey Maguire ones.
those are
Yeah.
my work.
Going back rewatching them, they're not that
Like-
great.
Oh, they were painful to watch.
I didn't mind Spider-Man 2.
and-
Spider-Man 2 was good when it was Spider-Man doing his thing. But when it's Tobey Maguire being Peter Parker, it's terrible.
Due to some technical difficulties, we lost some of the podcast. So you might notice here that it might jump ahead just a little bit to later in the podcast.
Video game movies. There's a lot of them out there. Do you have any favorites, Aaron, or any ones maybe like a guilty pleasure?
I'd have to say Final Fantasy Advent Children's pretty high up there. I love that, like just the style of that movie.
The animation's really good, but by God, the anime conversations kill me. It ruins it for me.
Oh, really?
Like just the way how everyone, it's hard to explain, but the typical anime, like they just throw out all this random words to sound smart. I don't know, it kind of killed me. Like the animation, like top notch. You can't fault that at all. I actually really like the first Final Fantasy movie that, funnily enough, had like nothing to do with the games.
Oh, is the Spirits Awaken? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, I love that movie. That movie's awesome. Even though it got panned by critics, I thought it was great.
I think it was one of the very first like full, completely CG movies.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong because I'm pretty sure Toy Story is first. Maybe it's like the first realistic looking one. Something. Anyway, but yeah, great movie. I think it still holds up actually. I haven't seen it in a few years now, but last time I watched it, it still looked pretty good.
I thought it was a great movie. It's pretty hard to find actually now, but I thought it was
I think I
great.
still got like the original DVD of it.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, it wasn't a bad movie. I digged it. And like in between that, like you've got just all these movies that they have like they're ripe from the source material for a movie, but for some reason they just fail. Like, you can talk like your Mortal Kombat's, for the time it was fine, but fuck is it shit. And then you've got like, even Max Payne, like a fantastic game, very, very story focused. And then they just make this shit movie.
You didn't like Max Payne?
No.
I suppose Max Payne compared to the game, fair enough.
No, like the whole point of Max Payne, it's like it's a neo-noir kind of like detective movie, but he's got like the whole mechanic of it is like he does the whole bullet time. That's the whole point. Max Payne like basically invented that and made it popular within games, and they don't use it in the movie. Like I think there's one shot where it like slows down and he shoots a shotgun.
Yeah, which I think is a missed opportunity, but at the same time, I think it might have been because they were afraid they would get sued from like the Matrix or something.
Sure, the Matrix didn't own the rights to stopping time.
Well, at the time they could have, but to like the bullet time, because that's what the Matrix, like the Wachowski brothers at the time.
But theirs wasn't
it.
bullet time. Theirs was like, no, I guess.
That was just pure slow-mo, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they called it bullet time as the technique. Is for the shot, they called it bullet time.
I wonder if they did that knowing that one day they might get a chance at an infringement right there. Like,
well, they haven't.
I would say it would be a legal reason as to why they didn't use it. I think
that sucks.
because I think I think it was a smaller studio made that movie, like Max Payne movie. So the last thing they'd want is Warner Brothers, which are known for like suing the shit out of people. Like, last thing I want is WB to come over and be like, "Hey, you're using our technique, and here's a lawsuit."
It's a copyright claim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, as just like, because I'm one of those people that went movie game, not game movie. I actually really enjoyed watching the movie. I've watched it a couple of times since. But yeah, just like as a action movie, really, rather than
I like one of my guilty pleasures would have to be like Need for Speed. Like, I know it got panned when it came out, but like I actually really enjoyed that movie.
I haven't seen it. Like, it's one of those ones I've seen. I think it's on Netflix, maybe. And I was like, yeah, I should watch that. I just have never watched it.
I thought it was actually fairly decent for what it was. I mean, to anyone that hadn't like played Need for Speed and just watched the movie, they would be like, "Oh, it's just a cheap Fast and Furious knockoff." But it actually had a decent story and a different story. It made it like worthwhile.
It got panned, but I'm pretty sure like it got some praise because most of the, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the car stunts were like practical. They weren't just CG. They actually used real cars for the stunts. I'm pretty sure that was like a selling point of the movie.
Well, yeah, like a Need for Speed, like
doesn't really have much story.
Well, it got better as time went on. Like, it tried to have a storyline.
What, Need for Speed Underground? Yeah,
which is the last like decent Need for Speed game, because every other one after that's been somewhat either okay or shit.
Very much so. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched it, but I didn't really. Yeah, it was alright, but it wasn't for me what I'd hoped it to be. Really, I suppose.
Yeah, which sucks. But look, like with anything, you're never gonna please everyone. You're always gonna like annoy fans, or the general audience just won't like it. It's how it is. But like there's one movie that I think like did a really good job, but unfortunately just didn't get what do you call it, like the box office and all that sort of stuff that it required for such a heavy investment. But the movie version or movie adaptation of part of the Warcraft story, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie, but it was really good. I liked it.
Yeah, and as a fan of Warcraft and World of Warcraft, I thought it was great. I know there were definitely fans out there who didn't like it, and there was a lot of people who obviously never heard of Warcraft or any of that, and they absolutely hated it.
But from what I hear, it was very faithful. I don't know much about the lore, but it was very faithful to the lore.
Yeah, and it was good, man. Like, it was actually good. For me, I've watched it 4 times, and I'd go back and watch it again. Definitely, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Warcraft was definitely one of those movies that I was like, you did well here.
and again, they tried. I think it was Duncan Jones was the director. Obviously, like if you have a gamer making a movie, yeah, they're gonna try and do the best they can.
Yeah, and as we've said, it's about knowing your content as well.
I think we lost Mitch again.
Yep.
Have you got me?
You're there, yeah.
We do now.
Yeah. Sorry, what I was saying was it's about knowing your content when you're making a movie like that. You want to know what's in the game to make the movie properly, and I think they did really, really well here with that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know much about the lore, like I said, but it seemed like a very competent movie.
Yeah, and look, the other movie I like is Tomb Raider, both the new and the old ones. Like, they're pretty good. I prefer the older ones a little bit more, but the newer ones, like, yeah.
The old ones, there's one very specific reason why people like those ones. Well, there's two.
seeing Angelina Jolie in a bathing suit.
Angelina Jolie's titties. That's why people like that movie. Don't lie to me. Like what? That came out early 2000s.
I like the story too,
I was probably
right?
like 12 at the time. Of course, I went and saw that. You kidding me?
The Cradle of Life is a pretty good one. I like the sequel, The Cradle of Life. That was a good one.
They were okay. Again, I think kind of like the Resident Evil movies, they were like decent. They weren't amazing. They weren't absolutely shit, but it was okay. It's watchable. The new one, like sort of their purpose was in terms of like the remake or the I guess you call it a remake. The new Tomb Raider series, Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That's kind of that Lara Croft they were going for. It was okay. I didn't mind it, but
I thought it was okay, but I think it was because once again going back to playing the game or watching the movie, like because I played the game and then I watched the movie, I felt like it was a lower scaled version of the game that I played because I'd finished it entirely. When I was watching the movie, I'm like, this is pretty nearly verbatim from the game.
But they just make some weird choices. Like the movie itself isn't bad, but it's like they have a whole scene at the start where she's like racing a bike through London. I don't give a shit about that, man. Just get into raiding tombs.
Yeah,
I guess it's just show off the character, but at the same time, like it's like we know what we're signing up for. Like the people, let's be honest, the people here that are watching this movie have played the game because that's all it is
but
for.
They can do that in many other ways. Sorry, cut you off, Mitch. But like, you could have her rock climbing towards a tomb or something, like to show that she is adventurous and she knows what she's doing and she's all about all these artifacts. You don't have to give me a bloody bike parkour scene through London.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I think what they were doing was building a backstory, which you'll find with a lot of movies like this. They're trying to give it a real world backstory for it to make sense to what do you call them, average Joes, the general populace. Because it's okay to say the gaming community is the ones that you've built this movie for, but realistically they've gone, this has a good storyline. We know it's going to have X amount of people coming to watch it anyway. Let's see if we can't get the general populace on board as well with a good storyline. So that's what I thought they were doing there. But you could have done it in so many ways. Like you said, she could have been rock climbing, but instead of climbing towards a tomb with no intro, she could have been rock climbing in a gymnasium or training or something and then somebody walks up, that cliche, somebody walks up with a fucking envelope and hands it to her and she looks at it and goes, oh my God, yes. Like, that kind of stuff. Kind of like what they did with a lot of the Indiana Jones movies. Like the way they started those are always doing something like they're in in a museum or whatever,
I think what they should have done is with going back to the Angelina Jolie one, she starts out, she's doing training and she's getting shot at and then she shoots the thing and then she's and then you realize, oh, she's training against this robot thing. It would be cool to have her she's just doing firearms training, or it opens to her on the back of a horse with a bow and arrow or something like that, or even just her exploring a cave or a tomb with her dad when she's a kid and then going from there, I guess.
Wake up from a dream of it or something.
Have her having a dream of raiding a tomb with her dad, but then something happens to her dad and she wakes up and it's a nightmare. And then she's wakes up in the manor and is okay, well, let's get the day started, that kind of thing.
Yeah. But no, I agree. There was so many different ways you could start that kind of thing. Especially the first movie, I suppose, is the crucial one to get the general populace on board. If you're going to make a sequel of anything.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I don't know either. But
well, that's why I think even just talking about games that would translate well to the big screen, Like Naughty Dog's working on the Uncharted film is filming actually in 2 weeks, I think, from now. Tom Holland's confirmed.
Yeah, baby.
So we're finally getting that Uncharted movie that's been talked about since like Uncharted 2 first came out.
It was meant to be Mark
many
Wahlberg,
years.
It was Nathan Drake, and then I still think he's a bit old now, but Nathan Fillion, amazing.
They should
Nathan
get Nathan
Drake.
Fillion.
Yeah.
Because when he put out that fan film, it's just
But
like
you could tell like he was
nailed
old
it.
and he was a little bit chubby and stuff, and it's like, it happens with age, but it's just his personality, his charisma, the way he delivers lines. Like, he is Nathan Drake to a T.
And then they got that guy that was in the Avatar movie,
Stephen
what's his
Lang.
name? Stephen Lang, yeah, they got him, and he's like the perfect Sully, and I'm just like, why is this not a movie?
Yeah,
Like, why isn't this like an hour and a half long or 2 hours
It
long?
sucks, but at least we got that small snippet of what could have been.
And I would have preferred that. I would have preferred an older Nathan Drake and made it like just after he finds his brother or something like that,
Yeah.
and make it like he's been doing it for a while and then he's been pulled back into doing his archaeology stuff.
There's
You never know though, like, because I watched that as well. That was, yeah, I agree with you. What could have been, and I'm still questioning the Tom Holland being in that. I know it's good for actors to branch out and everything like that, but it's, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see when it comes out. But the Nathan Fillion thing, what if the next, like, if this one does well, it'd be a good idea, because the amount of love that the Nathan Fillion thing got online, they're gonna have to know about it, right?
well, you think so?
What if they,
I think
yeah,
that's what sparked the actual Hollywood interest, to be honest.
Yeah.
yeah,
And Deadpool had the same thing. They had somebody, Ryan Reynolds, leaked the footage, and obviously it went gangbusters on the internet. And for him, at least, that was enough for him to be like, hey, people want to see this, make the movie. And that's how he got it.
But let's be fair, he has been pushing for that role since the day he became an actor.
Oh, 100%.
Let's be honest.
But it's an example of the internet.
For that role, really.
Well, he'd been pushing for it from the beginning, and that's the whole reason why he signed up to do X-Men Origins Wolverine, because they came to him and said, hey, we're going to put Deadpool in this movie. Do you want in? And he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I want to be Deadpool. And then he read the script and found out they were just going to make him this like mutant. He's like, oh, this is not what I wanted to be in
And
it
that's
for.
how you can tell they gave no fucks about the source material. You have Deadpool, the merc with a mouth, the guy that breaks the fourth wall, and you literally sew his mouth shut. Are you kidding?
Like, the way they did that, there were so many ways you could have gone about it. Like,
It'd be like having like Captain America, but take away his shield, or like
have Captain America,
his,
but
his
he
Spider-Man.
smokes crack on the side. Like, it's not his character, man.
yeah,
I was like, or his Spider-Man, but take his webs
Yeah.
away, or his quips away. He's just this boring average guy that just shoot webs. It's like,
yeah, exactly. The moment you modify a character that's been written by, I'm going to call them the greats, the guys that invented these, you screw it. We love these characters. We're invested in them, from comic books, from games, from, God, just talking with your friends, to ideas that pop up in your head. And then to go and do that to Deadpool was just excuse my language, it was just absolutely despicable. But there were so many ways around it. Like, they didn't have to put bloody blades in his arm, make him a Wolverine wannabe. And if they were going to sew his mouth shut as a little gimmick, they should have had him cut it at the end and say something smarter. So that would have been funny as.
They should have. There was so many things they did wrong, unfortunately. But
And let's be honest, in that film, Deadpool was not the only thing that they did wrong in that film. Like, just saying. Like, everyone.
Oh, that whole-
had Deadpool was the bad part of that film. That whole film was an absolute.
oh yeah,
Like, take Deadpool out and look at the film and go, oh well, what the hell? Realistically.
but we're going to wrap it up there. But it's another example of just, we're not filmmakers either. If you came to me and said, here's this game, make it a movie, I'd have no clue what to do. But when you've got millions of dollars and, you know, all these writers and directors and stuff, you think they'd be able to put something decent together if they're given something that was already praised highly. But
I think the problem is that the Hollywood has this track record of not researching things properly, unless it's a biopic, and that's the problem, is that they get given this bag of money and go, hey, make a film based on this, but then they don't actually go research the source material, and they just like watch a quick snippet of like a quick brief history of Sonic or quick history of whatever, and then they go, oh, that must be what it's about, and they make this bullshit story with it, and then the fan base that have, you know, stuck by this particular loved icon for like since its inception comes out and goes, what have you done? Like, this is not even like close to what we know about this particular thing.
But
and so
you have to keep in mind.
I agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
All good.
I want to agree, because you would think, like you said, with all that money, could you not manage to find someone who is passionate about it, and when you're sitting down and writing the script, you have them in there and going, flesh out the character for us. Okay, we're thinking about having them do this. How would the character fit in this scenario? And then evolve the script upon that. Like, I don't see how that's so hard.
No.
Not only have you got fans, you've got most of the stuff that they're doing, the people are either still around that, like, made them, well, not made the original, but like, you know, have developed games based around the lore and stuff on them. So why not talk to them? Like,
I think it's also like it comes from the top as well, because it's like then you get that odd exception where you get people that actually have researched the movie or the source material quite well, and then they go, well, we're going to make a few adjustments because this character wouldn't do this, or the character would act this way. And then, you know, people at the top that proofread the script, like the executives, go, nah, don't like it. We're going to change it back to this.
And you have to keep in mind.
And then they're like, well, my hands are tied. I've got a contract. I can't do anything about this. I'm just going to have to roll with it and see, make the best of it.
Yeah. So you got to keep in mind that when when a studio makes a movie based on anything, yeah, there's the fans, but the fans account for like 1-2% of the general population. What they want and what they want to get the money from is everybody else. So yeah, they want to please fans, but that's not the studio's focus. Their focus is, will this make us money?
Yeah.
That's what they're going
I agree
for.
with that. But you have to be very careful with that, right? Because the general, like the fan group, they will scream hard. And now, and in today's society, in a society where we're on social media all the time and writing reviews and stuff like that, that general fan base, the fan base that loves that subject so much, they will scream hard enough to turn the general populace off.
Oh yeah.
Like, it happens. Like,
Well, I mean, like Sonic is the perfect example. When the design first came out, all the fans got on board and was like, what the hell is this? Like, get rid of this. Go fix it. We need to fix it. And then, of course, the studio was like, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe you should fix it. We went back to the drawing board. They spent a few extra $1 million on it, fixed it all up. And now look at Sonic. It's like a really super successful movie for a video game adaptation, just because I kind of feel like they took that feedback on board and actually, you know, went to the drawing board and made it look a lot better than what it originally was.
and I think that's part of the key, though. You get the character right and the type of character it is and its personality traits. It doesn't matter what situation you put it in and what storyline you put it in. It'll adapt its own way to that. And if you get that right, the fan base is going to love it. They're going to scream that they love it, and it's just going to flow on from there, I think.
Yeah, man. I agree. But unfortunately, that's where we're going to be wrapping it up. Unless you guys had any other final thoughts.
I like chili dogs.
So does Sonic, man. But yeah, look, the Sonic movie's out. We get no money from it, but apparently it's a good movie, so check it out if you have any interest. I've been Justin. I have a Facebook page. I don't post to it. You're better off going to our NeoAeia, which is Mitch and Aaron. Boys, what's your plugs?
Aaron, take it away.
Take it away, baby.
Yeah. So NeoAeia is an online community where we talk about movies, entertainment, and gaming news all in the one place. We're mostly on Facebook, so check us out at www.facebook.com/NeoAeia. That's NeoAeia. We also live stream every Tuesday and Saturdays, both on Twitch and Facebook and YouTube. And we give you the latest gaming news every Monday on free to play on our YouTube channel. So in video format, so be sure to check that out as well.
What he said, that was a wrap. That was amazing.
Were you doing enough? You kind of know it off by heart.
Yeah, baby,
Yeah,
one taste and
sure.
you want more. All right, that's us signing off. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
Peace.